Imagine this. Someone whispers your name, and suddenly your heart skips. You feel chosen, special, alive. But weeks later, the same person who swore you were their everything treats you like nothing. Why? Here's a chilling truth hidden in psychology. Most people don't fall in love with the real you. They fall in love with an image, a projection, or an ancient story inside them that your face happens to match. And according to Carl Jung, there are only two real reasons people fall in love. Two forces, two magnets, two illusions that can feel like destiny. If you understand them, you'll never look at love the same way again. Before I continue, I strongly recommend watching this video without skipping any section, because each part builds on the one before it. And while you're here, kindly hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share it with your loved ones. Thank you. The two reasons. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist and founder of analytical psychology, believed that love, that deep, consuming kind of attraction, doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from within us. He said people fall in love for just two reasons. 1. Projection, when we see in someone else what we unconsciously carry inside ourselves. 2. Archetypal resonance, when someone reminds us of a deep, timeless pattern or role that humanity has carried for centuries. Let's break this down. Projection. Have you ever met someone and felt like you've known them forever? As if they complete you? That's not magic. That's projection. Your unconscious mind holds desires, fears, and forgotten parts of yourself, what Jung called the shadow. When you meet someone, your mind may project these hidden qualities onto them. Example, you've always longed for safety. You meet someone calm and stable, and suddenly you're convinced they're your soulmate. Or you've buried your playful, carefree side. Then you meet someone who laughs loudly and dances without shame, and you feel drawn, almost magnetized. You're not really falling in love with them. You're falling in love with your own missing piece reflected in them. Projection is powerful, but it's also dangerous. Because one day, reality cracks through the illusion. You see the person as they truly are, flawed, human, not the perfect mirror you imagined. That's when heartbreak happens. Archetypal resonance. The second reason Jung gave is even deeper. Archetypes. Archetypes are universal patterns hardwired into the human psyche. The hero, the mother, the trickster, the wise old man. We don't just make them up. They live inside us all, shaping myths, religions, and stories across the world. When we meet someone who embodies one of these archetypes, something ancient stirs. It feels bigger than us, almost divine. Example, a man meets a woman who radiates nurturing energy, and she awakens the mother archetype in his psyche. He feels overwhelming love, not just for her, but for what she represents. Or a woman meets a man who carries the mystery and fire of the hero archetype. He feels like destiny, not just a person. This is why some loves feel timeless, fated, like they were written before you were born. Because, in a way, they were, in the language of archetypes, the science behind it. Now, you might ask, is this just mystical poetry? Not really. Modern psychology and neuroscience actually support Jung's idea. Studies show that when we fall in love, our brains light up in areas linked to memory and identity. We're not just responding to who someone is, we're responding to what they awaken in us. Sometimes it's the comfort of a childhood memory. Sometimes it's a hidden wound we want healed. Sometimes it's the thrill of a story we secretly tell ourselves about love. Love is never just about the other person. It's about the collision of their presence with our inner world. How to tell if it's real love or just projection? This is the question everyone asks. How do I know if what I feel is true love or just projection? Here's the test. Projection fades when reality appears. If you're in love with a projection, the more you get to know someone, the less magical they seem. Disappointment sets in. But if it's deeper, if after flaws, arguments, and time you still care, still respect, still choose them, then the love has moved beyond projection. Real love is not about finding your missing piece. It's about recognizing another flawed human being and choosing them anyway. How to protect yourself. Knowing Jung's insight can protect you from heartbreak. First, be aware of your own shadow. What do you long for? What parts of yourself have you buried? If you don't know, you're more likely to project those desires onto others. Second, take your time. Love at first sight often means projection at first sight. Slow down. Watch how feelings evolve after months, not days. Third, remember, No one can complete you. They can only complement you. Completion is an inside job. Stories that prove the point. History and literature are full of examples. Think of Romeo and Juliet. Their love burned hot and fast because they projected passion and escape onto each other. But that fire consumed them. Or consider Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Their love carried the weight of archetypes, queen and warrior, goddess and hero. It felt larger than life, but it also destroyed them. And then there are quieter loves, like Nelson Mandela and Winnie before the storm of politics. At first, projection of hope and shared struggle. Later, the reality of human flaws. These stories remind us, love is never just two people. It's also the invisible forces of projection and archetype shaping the bond. Why this matters? Why does all this matter? Because understanding why people fall in love helps you see clearly. It helps you avoid being fooled by illusions. It helps you stop chasing partners who only mirror your wounds. And it teaches you to love more wisely, with open eyes. If people fall in love for only two reasons, projection and archetypes, then real love is the rare third thing: choice. Choosing someone not because they fill your emptiness, not because they awaken an ancient story, but because you see them, truly, and you stay. Final words. Carl Jung once wrote, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." Love transforms us, sometimes through illusion, sometimes through archetype. But the deepest transformation comes when we move past both into something real. So the next time your heart skips at someone's smile, pause and ask yourself, am I in love with them or with the part of me they awaken? Because the answer could save you from heartbreak or lead you to the truest love of your life.